I will say that the most important thing, um, maybe not the most important thing, but is probably high up there and like two, maybe number two or three about being in a relationship with someone is the recovery process, is how we recover and bounce back from arguments and disagreements, right? Because it's not about the arguing. Every couple argues, that's important, it's gonna happen. But what people don't talk about enough is how to recover, how to resolve issues and come to the common ground again and come to a mutual resolution, peaceful resolution. It's not something that we see a lot, right? A lot of us didn't see it in the relationships around us growing up. And it's not often something that we see displayed in society, right? So I think part of this sort of shift that's happening where we're learning a new language and we're learning how to communicate again, a large part of that has to be the recovery process. And I think that that's something that more of us are afraid of than not. And I say that because there's a trend right now around cutting people off and setting extreme boundaries. Not saying there's nothing wrong with boundaries. Yes, we have to set boundaries, healthy boundaries. Yes, if someone is completely detrimental to you and harmful to you and destructive to you, then there's a time and place. You can be discerning in, what it looks like to cut people off or who to cut off. But if it's just a matter of we're having a disagreement, that we are not seeing eye to eye about something, but that the relationship is beneficial and you care about each other, and you'd rather just not deal with the reconciliation process, so you just cut people off, that I feel like people are taking that license and running with it as a means to avoid personal accountability, but also just personal growth. Like, this is an opportunity for us to learn how to actually do it, how to go through the stages of interpersonal recovery. And it's something that I need to work on, and I know so many other people that need to work on it. And I just think that I'm not willing to be in a relationship with people unless we're able to kind of go through that process and learn that process and grow through it together, and apart, and I feel like now I'm using every relationship that I have, whether it's platonic, family, business, friendship, whatever, to practice that. Because I think it just takes practice, and the more you practice it, the more savvy you get at it. And then when you're in that romantic life partner dynamic, it doesn't feel like you're doing it for the first time. It doesn't feel so strenuous. There isn't as much tension around it, right? Because you've given yourself space to realize that you have some control around resolution, resolution. I think another thing is that because people have a hard time resolving things within themselves, that can oftentimes mirror how we are with other people. So if you're someone who puts yourself down a lot, has that negative self-talk, or just, harbors in your own failures and has a hard time, you know, forgiving yourself, you know, little things like that. They're not little, they're actually major. If you have a hard time resolving your own issues and your own flaws or shortcomings with yourself, then more than likely that's going to be reflected onto how you do relationship with other people, because you're going to have those same expectations, if not more, from them to meet this ideal that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. They're just things that have to be worked on, because we are all continual works in progress. We're going to be growing our entire lives until our time is up, you know. So in order for us to give other people grace so that we can go through the process of resolution and reconciliation, we have to learn how to give ourselves grace. So I feel like that's part of the work for people, especially if you're single male, single female. Doing that work with yourself is going to be, I believe, hugely beneficial and pay off when you are in that relationship that you want to be in, and you're facing some of those tough conversations and challenging times. It's like you have tools that you can pull from, you know. So that's my reflection on that.